The fields were alive with the sweet fragrance of lavender, drifting on the breeze and mingling with the songs of birds in the manor's aviary. Life thrived here at the manor. There were pleasant servers, trusted maids, dependable butlers, dedicated cooks, efficient property handlers, fearless animal wranglers, and Mr. B the gardener, who all lived there. With stabled horses, a variety of birds in the atrium, which was an aviary, filled with the songs of nightingales and the flutter of tiny hummingbirds' wings. There were also 2 white sheep and a spotted brown cow named Betsy that roamed the grounds of the estate freely. Mr. B would feed the birds early in the morning, as he loved tending to them, especially Clara and her twins, Zia and Gia, exotic parrots that flew all around the property with him. Clara, the largest of the 3, had an array of colors with an orange beak, while Zia was green with splashes of light orange, and Gia had a purple beak with purple and green feathers. Mr. B visited the garden most mornings, and he always gave thanks to God for the abundance of fresh fruits, herbs, and vegetables there in the garden. One morning, while filling a basket with tangy Granny Smiths, Mr. B watched as the birds flew away in the direction of the manor's stable. He wondered, but stayed filling the basket. On their return, Clara was carrying a bright yellow ribbon from a mare's mane. Seeing that, he ran straight to the barn, where he found a feisty mare and her colt, which was a few days old, trapped with thick, fog-like smoke, escaping from the barn's upper window. Mr. B quickly led them out to safety. He extinguished the flames, then quickly gave thanks to God for using the birds to save the day. As the week progressed, the manor's staff made preparations for the annual Butterscotch and Caramel Fun Fair, a social event which was at no cost to the public. On the morning of the fair, both adults and children rushed through the gates to take part in the day's activities. There were shiny carousels, tiny trains, electric bumper cars, a plethora of games, a twirly roller coaster, rides galore, slippery water slides, and much more to keep the guests occupied. There were also designated areas set up for the yearly Butterscotch and Caramel Bake-Off, where sugary icing, decadent sauces, and fabricated fillings were made using creamy melted butterscotch candies and deliciously smooth homemade caramel by the bakers and pie makers who were in attendance. The buzzing crowd sampled their way through confectioneries and treats, both savory and sweet, from freshly made bagels, cheese-filled croissants, purple beetroot tofu breads, meaty pasties and baguettes, to rich smoothies, thick shakes, assorted cakes, glossy toffee apples, brightly colored cotton candy, snow cones with carbonated syrup, plus exquisite pastries filled with rich creams, luscious jams, aged preserves, and jellies. Meanwhile, outside the gates stood a small group of people. Mr. B, seeing them, wondered why they stood outside when all were invited to the fair. So he walked over and welcomed them. He then invited them to partake freely and to also be judges of the competition, for they were randomly picked. They followed with hesitance, for Mr. B was dressed in overalls as the gardener. As the aroma of candy floss, caramel popcorn, and chocolate brownies lingered in the air, they traversed through a bustling crowd, had their fill indulgently, and made their way to the judges' table. The judges tasted the delicious entries, made their decisions, and while the crowd cheered, they handed out well-deserved trophies and ribbons to the winners of the competition. After the massive crowd left the estate, Mr. B thanked God for a pleasantly fair day, with no hiccups or squabbles. Then he saw the woman and her 3 sons, who judged the bake-off, stacking pies and cakes into boxes. He slowly strolled over and inquired if he could be of any assistance. The woman politely asked if there were any vacancies at the manor. Mr. B then told her that the esteemed position of the head chef needed to be filled immediately, and that he also needed help in the gardens. She smiled and agreed to the terms, for Mr. B explained that her culinary skills would be put to the test, for the position came with a handsome salary. He also mentioned that all members of staff resided on the property. He then showed them around, made the necessary introductions, then led them to their rooms so they could get settled, where they all thanked God for answering their prayers. The next day, she was asked to prepare an introductory meal for Mr. B and the staff. 5 courses, which included 2 appetizers, an entree, and 2 desserts. She made cream of mushroom soup with crispy croutons and toasted coconut-covered shrimp sautéed in garlic butter for starters. Maple syrup-smothered roast beef stuffed with spring onion and aromatic sprigs of thyme, plus creamed cheesy potatoes, carrot medallions, nuggets of cauliflower and broccoli, with a rose cranberry and pineapple sweet and sour reduction for the main course. The dessert consisted of raspberry and lemon sorbet, and a strawberry-filled double chocolate sponge cake, icing vanilla, drizzled with an orange, saffron, and honey glaze. After satisfying their appetites, all members of staff applauded and complimented the now new head chef for her tantalizing meal. Mr. B thanked her and told her that he was extremely pleased with her efforts. She then asked him if the lord of the manor shared the same sentiments. She was curious to know her potential employer's opinion and was surprised when the staff all looked at Mr. B and humbly. Mr. B told her that he was only a steward, for God owned the manor, as he did everything and every living being. So the new head chef and her triplets thanked Mr. B again for his hospitality and their new jobs, which she told them was a blessing from God. She then praised God and thanked him for all their blessings received. The staff and Mr. B all joined her in worship, and they praised God and thanked him for his infinite mercies, blessings, and favor. 'Twas around noon when her carriage arrived. The Queen of Genoria alighted and was welcomed by Mr. B and the staff. She was escorted by militant guards, accompanied by her attentive ladies' maids, well-dressed wardrobe consultants, eloquent advisors, and her perky personal assistant. The Queen was taken upstairs, where perfumed rose petals were laid on the bed in her suite. There were also opulent floral arrangements, pristine, hand-woven welcome baskets, captivating edible fruit arrangements covered in milk chocolate, cozy cashmere blankets with expertly draped walls, and picturesque views from the windows. After changing for brunch, she joined Mr. B, who was waiting in the garden. Prepared were traditional scones, buttery biscuits, glazed miniature donuts filled with gooey strawberry and blueberry jam, golden French toast sticks dusted with powdered sugar, delightful cubed shredded chicken, and flaked tuna finger sandwiches, moist red velvet cupcakes, juicy watermelon, pineapple mango, and kiwi fruit salad, milky lattes, and refreshing vanilla and cinnamon-flavored iced tea. After greeting Mr. B with an unpretentious hug, she was seated. Mr. B prayed and asked God to bless the meal and all partakers. He also thanked God for her safe passage and visit to the manor. They jovially conversed for what seemed like hours. Both parties expounded on things the other missed. The Queen told Mr. B that some years ago, a baby was left at the palace gates. After searching for relatives to no avail, the Queen adopted her. She continued to say that she is now 7 years old and is loved by everyone. She informed him that in a few days, her daughter would be joining them at the manor, for it was against security protocols to travel in the same convoy. The little princess arrived with a diligent fleet from the palace. Her elegant maids, learned tutors, patient nannies, well-organized schedule coordinators, and her fluffy white kitten. She leaped from the carriage and into her mother's arms. The next morning, after breakfast, the little princess was taken to see the rest of the birds of which she had heard. She toured the grounds of the estate and visited the manor's serene pond with colorful fish from Japan. She then headed to the vineyard, where she enjoyed picking bunches of sweet, plump grapes. Suddenly, the little princess looked around and realized that Whiskers was missing, along with her mother's handed-down diamond-studded bracelet, which was placed around the kitten's neck during her morning's fancy dress session. Mr. B alerted the staff and told them to be vigilant in their search, while the Queen dispatched the soldiers with urgency. After searching for hours, they found Whiskers playing by the pond. Thankful the search was over, Mr. B and his guests thanked God that the missing kitten and bracelet were safe. The manor now had a new pet, for the kitten was found near the pond playing with a pug. The little princess asked her mother if she could keep it. Calmly, the Queen told her that if no one claimed the puppy, then she could. So with reservations, the little princess helped to prepare flyers with bright-eyed pictures of the puppy. The flyers were then issued to nearby residents, Join us again for more in the series. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay blessed.